Voiceover tips, making money from PowerPoint. Hello, Peter Baker here from VoiceOver Masterclass. A couple of years ago, I realized that there could be a market in selling a specialized service I'm about to explain, and for me it's worked pretty well. I get at least 2 or 3 jobs like this a week, and you can charge about double your normal voiceover rate. So see if it's something that floats your boat, and you can add it to your own office, to your own clients. Now, in the world of business in particular, PowerPoint is still used to put together presentations and conference speeches, and after these live presentations have finished, unless they were actually physically filmed and edited together, the presentation is lost for future use. Now, just sending the PowerPoint file of a training program or a speech that was done in a conference to anybody won't really make sense and be pretty boring, to be honest, for them to look at, even if it did. So for people who missed the conference or for new starters to the company who need to be trained up, you offer to your client to take their PowerPoint files and turn them into attractive packaged videos using your voice as the narrator. Now, there are 3 types of PowerPoint you may be offered. 1, the type of PowerPoint file where the live presenter actually spoke virtually word for word from the notes, which are encoded in PowerPoint file but are not seen on screen by the viewers. And these notes, only the person on stage would see them. It's sort of a cheat's way of having a mini teleprompter when they're giving the PowerPoint presentation. So all you have to do is to record in order all the script in the secret notes area, one assigned for each slide, when you play the file, and then create a video adding your voiceover to each slide, as I'll show you soon. 2, there's the type of PowerPoint where all the script is actually on the slide already. All you have to do is to read off the slide. Thirdly, there's the PowerPoint presentation where the pictures and maybe a few titles are used as a sort of memory aid for the live presenter, who would be an expert on the subject matter and would ad-lib through the information live on stage in the training room just from the bare bones of what is on the slide. This, of course, makes it really hard for you because you're not an expert on the subject matter, or it's very unlikely you would be. So it means you need to talk to the client, have a phone call or 2 or a Zoom call. You would actually have to write out the full narration script that would accompany each slide. Much more work for you, but of course you can charge more if you want to do this script writing as part of your narration and video editing. So how would you find this work? How would you find companies who've got PowerPoints that need turning into videos? Well, first of all, you may have some regular clients who use you just for voiceover work at the moment, but they won't realize the benefits of doing this or that you offer this service. So once you learn the skills, as I'm about to tell you, that's a good reason to get in touch with them. You can also set up your own gig on sites like, say, Fiverr, where people would be actively looking for someone who can turn a PowerPoint into a professional video. And I've had my PowerPoint gig on Fiverr for a while. It's been very successful. So here's what to do. Step 1, ask your client to send you the PowerPoint file. Make sure it's the final one and not just a draft, and work out what type it is. Then you can determine how hard the job will be. You can give them a quote. Open up the PowerPoint, view it as a slideshow to see how complex it is. It may be that each slide is just complete as it is, a flat slide, no animations. However, if you see on a slide the picture kind of builds up or new elements appear and they fly in as you click the arrow keys, then almost certainly the client will want to keep these animations in on the final video. This will make the job more complicated and you'll have to charge more. 2 ways to include slide animations on the final video. You can either in PowerPoint export the whole lot as a mute video, file export video, and this should also export all the animations. Although I find it better quality to go full screen and screen capture using software like Screen Hunter 7 Pro, or maybe you've got your own favorite screen capture programs. And then you'd keep that screen capture somewhere safe. You edit in the animations when you get to them in the editing process. But let's assume that it's simple. You have a PowerPoint given to you with flat individual slides. So let's strip out the slides into a separate folder ready for creating a video with your narration on. To export all those slides as separate JPEGs in a separate folder, it's simply File, Save As, and it wants to save it as it is already, a PowerPoint, and all these different things here, just select JPEG and then go Save. Which slides do you want to export? We want all slides, so just simply click that and it creates the folder. Each slide in your presentation has been saved as a separate file. Okay, so now you've got a folder with every slide as a separate JPEG, but no animations, remember. And if you haven't checked, there may be some animations in there. All you've got is the final sort of completed slide there, flattened. But what if the PowerPoint has videos embedded in it? How do you strip those out? Well, one way is to export the whole thing as a video, as I said before, but it's actually better quality and easier to manipulate and edit if you just take out the original video files that are interwoven within the PowerPoint file. Here's how to do it. Here's how to find the hidden media files inside a PowerPoint. We're looking for the videos. We simply right-click on it and change PPTX. We change it to zip. So in other words, just click on the end, get rid of those 4 letters, put in zip, and click outside it. It says if you change a file name, it may become unstable. Well, yes, we do want to change it, please. We'll click yes. So now it's a zip file. So now if we double-click it, suddenly things unzip automatically. It reveals a folder called PPT. Ignore everything else, double-click that. And now you'll find another folder inside there called Media. Double-click that. You'll find all the images. It's another way of getting the images out. You'll see that the creator used some PNGs, some JPEGs, a variety of files here. So the other method I just showed you will get them all the same type, which may be easier to import. But let's just wind down past all these stills, and at the end we find all these media files. These are the videos. So simply click the top, click the bottom, and go Control-C, create a new folder, paste them in, and there you've got all the videos that can be edited into your new video version of this PowerPoint. Okay, so you've got all the visual elements exported from your PowerPoint. Now you just need your voiceover. So depending what type of job it is, you either go through it all, reading all the unseen notes, those secret ones underneath, one for each slide, or you actually read the text that's on the screen. Now, with all these jobs, you may need to ad-lib a little bit. You might need to add a few little things to make it sound more colloquial and chatty and narration-y. But it's narration-y, is that a word? But it's quite easy to record that as an audio file. So you've got all the elements now. It's time to do some editing. Now, if you haven't done much video editing before, don't worry, we're not going to do any high-end stuff here. In fact, even though I'm going to use Adobe Premiere Pro, any video editing program will be able to do what we're about to perform. And if you don't want to pay, plenty of free editing programs out there, such as HitFilm Express, there's DaVinci Resolve, Lightworks, Apple iMovie if you're on a Mac, VideoPad, Shotcut 22, Movie Maker Online, list goes on. Just need a basic video editor. Don't be scared if you haven't done it before. And in fact, if you'd like to learn more about Adobe Premiere Pro, we've got a whole course on it from beginner to pro at voiceovermasterclass.com. So let's go to Premiere Pro and show you how to hack all this together. Most video editing programs will look a bit like this, where you've got a timeline we're about to create down here. Up here will be the picture of where we're selecting on the timeline. And down here happens to be, although we could move anything around really, you find the elements you want to create. But first, let's create a sequence. The first thing to remember is to create a widescreen 16:9 sequence, even if your PowerPoint is this shape, which is like the old squarer 4:3 aspect ratio. You want to create a 16:9 one. If the pictures don't fit, there'll be black bars down the side, but that's the client's problem. They'll be much more annoyed when you give them something which isn't compatible with most browsers and social media and things. Everything needs to be widescreen 16:9. There are lots of widescreen options here. This is the last one I used, and it happens to be compatible with the camera I filmed on. But as long as it's 1920 by 1080, that's fine. 1920 horizontal by 1080 pixels vertical. And because I'm in the UK, it's 25 frames per second. It may not be in the area where you are. And we'll call it something Go OK. There we go. There's nothing in there at the moment, so we need to go and drag some stuff in. So I know first of all that we start off with a video. So I go to stripped out videos and I know it's media 3. I have to drag that in. And even though it says the clip does not match the sequence settings, I'm going to force it to. Keep the existing settings, and there's our video that happens to be at the beginning. Fantastic. That's the first thing people will see. It goes from left to right. Next, we import the voiceover. I know exactly where that is on my computer, and click the import button. And so we just drag it at the end of where the video is. And now it goes from video into black, but we've got the voiceover. So then we fill it with the slides. So remember how I stripped them out before? I simply import them into the project. So you could select slide 1, hold shift down, go to the bottom, select 32, and then drag the whole lot in. But the problem is it won't fit your voiceover. Unfortunately, you have to do it manually, and it's best really to do just one at a time. So if we zoom in, you see we've got all the slides there. I have my system defaulted to 5 seconds per slide, so that's no good at all. So we'll get rid of all those and just have slide 1. And you simply play your voiceover. When you get to the end of that slide, you say it's there, and then you bring in slide number 2. And then you would just drag it to whatever your voiceover finishes, and then do number 3, and so on. And then when you're finished, you export it as an HD file. That's a really quick overview. If you'd like to learn more about Premiere Pro in particular, we do have a course at voiceovermasterclass.com. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. More courses at voiceovermasterclass.com on everything you need to know about voiceover, making money, and doing different stuff like this. So thanks very much for watching. Have a good day. Hey, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below or watch the video once more, just in case there's something you've missed. Now over to my left, you can continue watching. Just click the video you'd like to watch next. And please click the thumbs up icon to let me know if you've enjoyed this video and found it informative. And if you've not done so already, remember to subscribe and click that bell icon so you don't miss any of my new videos.